Hello, everybody. Welcome to Know Your Money. I'm Bronwyn.
And I'm Craig Finch, and we are from Growth Financial Planning. We hope you enjoy our podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Know Your Money. Hello, Craig. How are you?
Ron, very excited to hear Natasha again today.
Yes, Natasha Leigh Bray is the founder of HeartHealing, and I have studied under Natasha to include this modality in financial planning. So you would think, why is Bronwyn doing HeartHealing and financial planning? And I think, hello, Natasha, how are you? I'll explain a little bit more, but how are you doing?
Hi, both. Yeah, really excited to be back again. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So I think just maybe a little backstory to our audience and to everybody else. In 2023, I met Natasha. Through a friend, I went on to one of her courses. I think it was a Heal Her experience. And just sitting through that content absolutely changed my whole life. And I was very lucky at the end of it to win a heart healing session with you, Natasha. And from that moment, my whole life changed. And the way I do financial planning changed. I always just did sort of financial planning, and I could never truly help people like I wanted to. And growing up, I actually wanted to be a psychologist. And after that heart healing experience, I somehow became connected to this world where the person's psychology is so linked to their money. I read Morgan Housel's book, and from that heart healing session, my whole life changed. The way we do financial planning changed, and I incorporated the Wheel of Life into the program that I do, and I now offer a blueprint where I've got my signature 7 relationships with money, and I help people unpack each relationship that they have with money, and that was all through heart healing that came through to me. Wow. So last year, I decided that I need to actually become a heart healing practitioner, because I think that is how you help people truly change their relationship with their money, but also themselves. Because I think as a financial planner, we're supposed to help the person be more of a human and enjoy their experience, not just what they're supposed to do with their money. Yeah. I think maybe today on this episode, you can give us an example of how this has changed someone's relationship with themselves or their money.
First of all, I just want to say how amazing that work that you've put together. It's truly, truly going to change so many lives. I love that. 7 relationships with money. Sounds amazing. Yes, actually, money issues are not a symptom. Sorry, they're not a root cause. They are the symptom of something else. And so what you have seen through combining heart healing with the practical money side of things is that actually you can address the true root cause of really why someone's having those issues with money in the first place. And heart healing is incredibly powerful for creating money transformations as a side effect of the healing. So there's so many examples, because, thousands of our clients who experience our heart healing have financial transformations. But there's a few I can think of that are off the top of my head that are very powerful ones. So one client in particular, she came to me because she was struggling to make any money in her business at all. I mostly work with entrepreneurs, and my heart healing practitioners all over the world serve different client groups. But she came to me, and the symptom was, I'm not making money in my business. Whatever I do, I just can't seem to make money. I've done healing. She'd tried various different world-renowned therapies. She had done money block work, all of the things to try and change this. So she was motivated and driven to change it, but just something wouldn't shift for her. And even just from the heart healing intake, before we did the session, I knew exactly what the problem was. It wasn't money. It was a relationship in her life that had deeply, deeply affected her relationship with money. Sadly, her father had passed away in her earlier years. I think she was a teenager when it happened. So it obviously had a dramatic impact on her, losing her father in that way at such a young age. And what we uncovered when we went into the heart healing session was actually that her father had been a businessman, and his business had not gone very well, and he'd been struggling a lot. So he was a typical struggling entrepreneur, and her connection to her father was to be like him. So the reason she couldn't move forward in her business was not because she wasn't capable of making money. It was because her heart believed that she needed to stay connected to her father by also being a struggling entrepreneur like him. So what we were able to do through heart healing was transform that relationship, heal the relationship, and create a more positive connection between her and her father moving forward, where she still felt connected to him, but was able to also live the life that she wanted to. Within weeks, she did a launch in her business of a new service, and she made $26,000 in that launch. So she went from zero and struggling to having a huge financial transformation just by healing that relationship and changing that connection.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
Really is.
It's phenomenal.
And you know what I also found is I found that sometimes money is the symptom of not making your life happier. And what I mean by that is, for example, some women stay in marriages because, or men, because the other person is the breadwinner and they aren't earning anything, so they have to stay there because they need the money. And it makes my heart so sad that people are making their life decisions around the worry of money. And I truly think that heart healing can help that, because if you feel safe enough to feel enough to know that you're worthy and that you can make your own money, it can make healthier lives. I don't know if you've experienced that in terms of sort of relationships and where people make decisions around their money, but it's affecting their self-worth or things like that.
Yes, and actually as you're talking, I'm seeing a slightly different angle that has come up with my clients as well, that sometimes not having the money is the reason to stay. And so I think it's similar to what you're saying, but a slightly different angle. Whereas they know if they had the money or the resources to leave, that might impact their children, for example. So by not allowing themselves to receive more money, then they have to stay, but the reason is something else. Does that make sense? The fear of the disruption or the hurt that might cause other people. So sometimes we are subconsciously keeping ourselves small and resourceless in a sense, or with limited resources for so many different reasons. I believe in financial empowerment as well, though, and that everyone should have the choice to be able to leave if they want to, and if they need to for safety reasons or any other reason.
Yeah.
100%. And I also think, like, with the 7 relationships with money, so the one is receiving, it's earning, spending, keeping, growing, saving, and I'm not sure what the other one is, but I find that you behave in certain ways to feel loved, to feel worthy, to feel enough. So, for example, you might give a lot financially, but that's based on a reason, that's based on something in your heart. And that's where I think those two things link so well. So for some people, they're scared of earning. For some people, they struggle to keep. For other people, they don't necessarily grow their money. And it's all from these different wounds, I think. And the integrations, there's more to life than money, but money does make your life feel easier if you have a good relationship with it, I think.
And it seems, Natasha, that once you've helped heal, it's almost immediate. It's not it doesn't take years and years. It seems like you can get to the root quite quickly.
Yeah.
And that'll be it'll have an impact fast.
Yes.
Is that correct? It seems like
That's right. Yes. It's a very fast modality in terms of the results. As I said in the previous episode, it's like having years, and this is what clients say, it's like having years of therapy, or they've never gone that deep in years of therapy before in one hour heart healing session. It's very, very powerful. And the results are multidimensional. You know, that lady I spoke to you about earlier, she didn't just make money in her business, she had significant health issues that improved. Her relationship with her partner improved. So she let go of the struggle. And when you let go of that struggle identity, that impacts everything, not just money. Right?
Sure.
So very fast results and multidimensional. So that, I talk about the fact it's emotional, spiritual, and financial transformation that you'll experience.
It's truly amazing work, and I hope more people in the world experience it. So thank you for all you've brought to the world and for being on our podcast.
Natasha, it was really great to hear this. I'm looking forward to my session.
Yes, you'll have to keep me updated on how that goes. Yeah, I'm excited.
I will.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Thanks so much, Natasha.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this podcast, would like to subscribe, please visit our website, www.growthfp.co.za. The information we have provided in this podcast is our personal opinion. For more detailed information, please discuss your financial situation with a financial planner.